the world. So welcome back, Alchemist. Mission 23, if you choose to accept it, is get the money. Today, we're going to be talking about the most important concept of communication, which is receiving, giving somebody else the opportunity to give. Who here has heard it's better to give than receive? Has anybody heard that before from broke people? Yes, it is true. The church says it all the time, right before they pass around that little basket where they're hoping you'll put their money in. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding at all. But they do say that right before they pass around the basket is, hey, it's better to give than receive. Make sure you give with everything you've got. Here's what I'll tell you. In order to give, someone else must be open to receive. And if you are not open to receiving, you are robbing, stealing, taking away from the person in front of you who's looking to give. Hands to camera if you've ever said no to a gift before. If you've been that person and say, oh, no, I don't need the payment. Oh, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. So that's you saying no to the universe, taking away the opportunity for somebody to actually pay you. So in today's mission, we're going to make sure we break out. This is a little bit of a mindset mission. So before we dive into it, let me make sure that you have committed today to reaching out to 10 new contacts. I know it's getting old. I know it's been 23 days of reaching out to contacts. I know it's exhausting. I know it's tiring, but I also know that you've met some really cool people. I know you've created some smiles. You've created some new opportunities, not just for yourself, but for them as well. Hands camera, if people have been thankful to hear from you, if you've reached out to people and they've been very interested in you and what you've got to say, awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're doing the right actions. So you're going to reach out to 10 people today. 4 will go in your database. Only 4 deserve that place. 1 social media post or more, as long as it's in a high splash zone area, high traffic where people are going to see it. And then you're going to make sure you read those 10 pages or 10 minutes in one of the very powerful audiobooks, The Endless Referrals by Bob Berg, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, and Meet 100 People by Pat Headley. So if you're ready, grab your pen and paper. We're going to go into 7 ways that you can get the money. The first is doing your research. You have to understand the process of understanding your prospect. What are their interests? What are they looking to do? Where are they going? In a B2B situation, you can study the organization as well as the individual making the purchase decision. This is going back to your avatar and just doing that little bit of research again. Just like make sure that now that you've identified your avatar, you've been speaking to them, asking them questions. We talked about this a lot with surveys. You can build surveys in Alchemist Connect if you're talking to a lot of people at once. Just send the survey out. The survey is designed to get you the information that you need to be able to sell them the product that they need. Number 2, identify the right offer. Going back to your irresistible offer, going back to it was what I was saying the right thing. Did I have to tweak it a little bit? Did I have to change it? When I said it, does the person in front of me, their heart melt? Do they say, oh my God, thank you, Alejandro, for showing up and having this conversation with me today. Victor, if you didn't show up, I don't know if my life was going to be the same way. This is now the greatest day of my life. Deborah, thank you so much for being here and saying that one thing. Take my money, please. I'm so ready to give it to you because it's exactly what I was looking for. So go back and revisit your offer. Is it creating that experience? If it's not, you might want to add some of the components that we talked about on day 3. Some of those components are the guarantee. Do they feel like no matter what they're winning? Is there a guarantee? With Alchemist Connect, for example, I say you got 30 days free trial. And if after 30 days you don't like it, get rid of it, cut it, don't use it. And at any point, if you don't like it, cut it, use it, no big deal. I'll give you your money back on the Recession Proof Challenge. If I can't make you $97 from the Recession Proof Challenge, remember this? I'll give you your money back. Hands camera if you know nobody's asked for their money back. Look, if you can't make $97 from what I'm teaching you over 30 days, if you can't make $1 million over the next 3 to 5 years from these principles, man, I don't know what to do. You clearly, like, that person didn't pay attention. They didn't show up. They didn't follow the requirements. If you connect with people, money will show up. If you do the mindset work, that's what Get the Money is all about. Getting your mindset open and able to receive from other people. Receive starts with receiving compliments, right? When Doreen and I say, I love you in the house, one person says it. The other person doesn't, right? If she says, I love you, I'm like, thank you. I receive, I let that sit. Now, obviously, like later on, it's always a competition between us. Hey, did I say I love you today? And if she says no, she knows she can't say it to me. She knows I'm about to win that one. Does that make sense? We're getting it. We can say as many times as we want in a day. right? But if somebody says, I love you, you can't say, I love you back. You can't be like, oh, I love you too, because that would be not receiving. That would be pushing that gift back away. We're catching how this works, right? Giving and receiving. Excellent. So small way to practice. Small way to practice. Do it around your house. Do it with your kids. Do it with your spouse. But the long term, the bigger is when you ask for money, sit there with silence, silence and gratitude as if the money's coming in. Most people will talk themselves out of getting the money by just saying a couple too many words. Well, I could do this. I could take that. Well, you know what? It's no big deal. Just say thank you. Practice the word thank you. Can everybody just drop it in the chat if you commit to saying thank you more often today? Just drop it in the chat. Say thank you in the chat. Let's get a practice. I want you to be able to type that thing out. Drop it in there. Thank you. Awesome. Number 3, set expectations. In presenting your offer, be clear about what your business can provide. Also, make sure you're clear about what their goals are prior to offering what your business is going to provide for them. Be careful not to overpromise and wind up with an unhappy customer. There's a saying in the business, overpromise, overdeliver. Who's heard this before? Overpromise, overdeliver. That is the motto I live by. I tell you, look, I'm going to teach you how to become recession proof. I'm going to teach you how to get 100 people in your database. Have I delivered that so far? I think I delivered that on day 1. I put a pretty good process together on day 1. Said if you do this long enough, you're going to get there. Now, sticking with you, teaching you how to build groups, teaching you how to build Facebook communities, teaching you how to funnel traffic through, how to build surveys, how to get follow-up campaigns running, how to create a CRM that will automatically do all this work for you. Now that's going above and beyond. That's way more than you paid for. Hands to camera if you agree. All of those steps are way more than you expected, way more than anybody needed to become recession proof, but it locks it in and makes sure that no matter what I'm offering, I'm way beyond delivering. So what can you do in your business that does that same thing? I create a perception and then I over deliver, way over deliver. So there's something in your business that you could do the same exact thing. So set those expectations up front. Finally, this is an opportunity to show that you care about your prospect and you want to earn their trust in the sales conversation, in that offer. So just keep in mind, it's all about the relationship. It's not about that one sale, because that one sale could lead to 10 more sales. That one sale could lead to 20 more sales, 100 more sales. My buddy Vinny Chopra, who you'll see at the 100 Millionaire Summit, talks about this all the time. His first investor was like 150,000, but that guy now has 5 million with him. But it's not even about that one relationship with that guy, because he's brought in 15 other investors or 14 other investors who have invested over $250,000 with Vinny. So that one person not only became his biggest fish, he also brought in other big fish just like him, because good people know good people. Like attracts like. People hang out with people who are just like them. So if you find one great client, I guarantee you they know 10 other great clients. So it's about building deep relationships right from the context, right from the get-go of that relationship. Number 4, focus on the solution, not the product. I paid $32,000 to learn that lesson. $32,000 to have a coach tell me all the time, over and over, every time we jumped on a call. He said, Walter, problem first, right? Problem first. Focus on the result they're getting. What do they win? What do they get? Stop talking about how you do it. Like, people don't give a shit about how you're going to make them rich. They'll ask you that question, but they're not paying you how. They're not, when you sit down and you talk to somebody, you tell them, look, I'm going to make you rich. They're like, sign me up. Right. But if you're like, hey, so what we're going to do is we're going to buy 10 properties. This is how my commission structure works. This is how we buy the finance the deals. It's like, you're going to scare them away. They're going to be like, whoa, like, come on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, go through and help you build community. And then this community is going to go out and they're going to bring you money. That's like entirely discouraging to somebody. If I said, hey, you got to go build a meetup group, like nobody would sign for the recession proof challenge. Hands to camera if you catch that, right? It's only an option. It's part of the process. The result is recession proof. The result is a community of 100 people who pay you that are, high net worth or really love your product, what you're doing. That's the result we're seeking. So think about your business in communication with your clients. What do they want? Not how you get there, like the feeling that they're looking for, not the result that they get. Not necessarily, hey, you're going to get a house. You're going to get a safe place for your family to live. Or I'm going to get rid of your property for you. I'm going to take you away from all the stress of the bill collectors. I'm going to take you away from this leaky roof. We're going to get you out of this house and into the dream house that you want to be in. We're catching this? Not you're going to sell my house to me, your house to me at a discount. Or not I'm going to take your money and put it into a deal. You're going to be able to spend more time with your family. You're going to be able to spend more time with your kids. You're going to have an extra $1,000 a month in your account every single month because I'm just going to be sending that check to you. Hence, can't for catching. This is how we play the game. And Alejandro's little one gets it right there too. There we go. 3. That's the 5. Rock and roll. Number 5, handling objections. Oh my God. Handling objections is my sauce. This is where like every real estate agent on the planet like should get turned on and excited. We love objections. Hence, if you're a realtor, where my realtors at? Licensees, awesome. Wholesalers, where my wholesalers at? People who wholesale real estate. You got to love handling objections as much as real estate agents love it. So when handling objections, your pitch, you should like in your pitch, you should always be thinking about how you will handle the possible negative request or the possible objection of the prospect. Like, I don't have time to look at this right now, or I don't have the money to buy your product, or my spouse probably won't be on board. There's a lot of different ways to handle those. Well, let's get your spouse in front of us right now. Hey, let's call her up, or let's call him up. Let's talk to them. Or we don't have the money. Well, have you considered financing? That's okay. Don't worry about the money. There's different ways to get the money to do this deal. Or there's different ways. Did you know your 401k has a bunch of money locked up that you can unlock to invest in my deal right now? Like, don't worry about it. We can check into these things. There's a lot of different ways to do that. One of my secrets to handling objections is this is common. This is standard. This is like no big deal, happens all the time. Or yeah, this is pretty easy to deal with. Don't worry about it. That no big deal. One of my favorite things to say to somebody when I'm in their house or when I'm negotiating or when we're talking about an investment deal together and they're like, "Oh, what about the contract? Is there a contract?" Yeah, of course, contract standard. Shit, there's no contract. I haven't read it yet. We haven't agreed to anything. But yeah, there'll be a contract with standard. No big deal, of course, right? And can't for catching this. Awesome. So be able to handle objections. The easiest way, if you don't know the answer, is that's pretty common. Very common question, and I've been actually meaning to look more into that. I'm going to get you the answer back later today. That's like the answer to I don't fucking know what you're talking about at all, but it's pretty common. It's pretty standard. I have no clue how to get that answer, but I'll figure it out. I'll let you know. And you can handle any objection using that process. Awesome. So be able to do those. This is getting the money, ladies and gentlemen. This is how to put the money from other people's accounts. I just said this with Ron Bullen. We literally just hung up on the phone and he said, really the secret for helping people get rich is helping somebody move money from one person's account into their account. If you can just get to help somebody like learn the process of moving money from one account into another account, that person get filthy fucking rich. Like that's how we build millionaires. We've just got to learn, like teach people how to learn the process of, well, the money's here. Now we're moving it here. The money's in an asset and we're moving it into this asset, right? The name is on that deed and I want to put my name on that deed. Like just all we're doing is transferring the ownership of things. And if a person can grasp that concept of everything you want is in the hands of other people and we're just looking to transfer things that they don't want anymore, right? One man's junk is another man's treasure. Like the reason we have like boatloads of capital at our beckoning call is because that capital is not as valuable as the return we offer for it. Does that make sense? People want their capital to provide a return. So they're interested in like, they're just like, dude, just take it, please. Like whatever you got to do your thing, because the return is what I'm seeking. I'm seeking the security the return provides me, what I can do in my life. I'm seeking like TMV, more vacations. I want to take more vacations. So the return is important. Hence, if you can think about that for your investors, you can really create something. I love paying my investors. This is my affirmation. Long before I had investors, I used to say, I love paying people. I love paying good people that I know, like, and trust me. I love paying my investors. And now is what I have dozens of investors. I'm like, dude, I love paying my investors. I literally love it because I get to hang out with them. And guess who pays for lunch? I paid them, then they paid for lunch. Right. So it's a great scenario. And sometimes I pay for lunch, and you're going to love this because I'm asking for referrals for who do you know might want to invest in one of my deals. Are you catching that? Oh, you guys are smart. Everyone here is very intelligent. Number 6, you're so smart, you're going to catch this one. Ask for the sale. please ask. Please ask to receive their capital, their product, their project, their deed, the relationship, whatever you're seeking, please ask for it. Please be super clear, so clear whenever you communicate with somebody what you're looking for, that you've got the guts and the balls to ask, right? Just that you got the chutzpah to say, would you be interested in jumping in with me? Would you be down to join this with me? Would you be okay with? Are you interested? Are you ready to join this journey to the top with me right now? Like be okay to ask. Be okay to just put it out there and say, are you coming with me? Right. And this is the conversation. I would slide the contract across the desk every time. Are you ready to do this with me? Are you ready to go? Are you ready to rock? Like, based on the conversation I had with the person throughout the house. Right? This is going back to when I was pulling properties from motivated sellers. I would slide that piece of paper across, be like, you ready to go? You ready to do this? You ready to sign this contract? And you ready to rock and roll? You ready to get to that new home? And slide the contract. I hope you guys are catching this, because sliding that contract is like it's a power play. Where I'm not even looking at the contract. I'm looking at their eyes and I'm saying, are you ready to get in? Are you ready to rock? Right? Handscam, if you know you could do this too. It's fun, man. It's fun. I've done it on the hood of my truck. Right? I used to drive a beat up Ranger. I used to sling real estate, jump out my suit, but I'd be driving this beat up Ranger, right? And my first vehicle, I'm so proud of like driving this thing for like 12 years. But in those last 2 years, man, I was doing a lot. It was not the hottest car, right? But I remember being outside of the gym, signing a contract across the hood of the truck. and my buddy's like, I was like, bro, are you in? You ready to become a landlord? I slid it across and he was like, fuck yeah, let's sign this thing. So that move, like, ask for the sale. Be willing to ask for the sale. Be willing to ask for, like, are you ready to jump in with me? When everybody who's an affiliate for the Alchemist Nation challenge, like for this recession proof challenge, like all I do is I just feel like, hey, I'm doing this challenge next month. I'm doing it with you, right? Like everybody heard, I said it with you. I was like, dude, I'm gonna raise $1 million over 30 days. Right? I told you the other day I'm at like 800,000. I just gotta make a couple more calls. I know the rest will be in there. I've overbeat what I said I was gonna do. I said it recently to one of my partners, like, dude, I probably got a $2 million raise that I could do like that. I just need a product. I just need something to invest in. But I've got all this capital sitting on the outside because of the activities I've been doing along with each and every one of you. So one, I got to say thank you to you, because I'm getting the money too. And two, if I can do it, you can do it. Right. If this bald, young 36-year-old, like a lot of you are older than me. So people are going to trust you more. They're going to respect you more. You have more established time on this planet than I've had. Does that make sense? You have a lot of advantages that I didn't have. I'm also a white male, right? I can't raise capital from somebody who's not a white male. Or belief system I used to have. Now I've got everybody. I've got Indians, I've got Italians, I've got Portuguese, I've got people from Jamaica invest in my deals. Like I used to believe that because I was a white guy, like I know like anybody who is the opposite of my gender or my race is going to be like, no, that's impossible. But this was my belief system. I genuinely believed that everybody was against white males growing up. And so I used to like be afraid to ask money from anybody. We're catching that any one of us could have these belief systems, right? And like they're all bullshit, right? Like, can we define them? Can we find them in the world? Yes, we can find them in the world. Of course we can. That's what the reticular activator does. It says, well, if you believe it, then it's there. So we can always find it. But some of my richest friends, some of my richest people, like they don't look at me from my age, man. Like they don't care about how old I am. They don't care that I'm a guy. Many of my investors are women. Some of my biggest investors, in fact, are women. Truth be told, here's the truth. Some of like my absolute biggest investors in my company are women. In fact, Dorina is looking to buy the rest of South Coast Capital from Ron Bowling without any help of my own, other than, I might have pitched a couple negotiation strategies. I may be brokering the deal. I may be, helping my two closest friends like connect something. But like women on the call, like players, I'm telling you, right? Like, so don't let anybody tell you you can't get the money in this game, right? Like look at Blake's eyes. See that's hungry right there. That's the kind of person who, when he talks, people say yes to him, right? So Blake, when you say, hey, are you interested in doing the deal with me? You ready to rock? You ready to join me? You ready to jump into what I'm doing here? People are going to say yes to you. Hands can if you know that's true for every one of you on this call. Hell yeah. Follow up. It's number 7. I saved it last because it's the last thing you do, but it's also where all the money is. I have never, ever, ever. Oh, no, lie. Okay. One time I raised $300,000 from meeting somebody for the first time ever and never meeting them again. Happened to me one time. I call this fool's mate. It's like, I'll go back to, my dating age. Like if I went and I took a girl home on the first time I met her, that's like, like not exactly skill there. It's not like you're going to build a deep relationship from that. But it does occasionally happen. You may talk to somebody first contact and they're just like, yeah, writing checks. It is possible. Yeah, I spoke at the Boston RIA. It's like 3 or 4 years ago, and I was raising $300,000. And on the stage, I said, I got a deal. It's $1 million purchase price, $900,000 purchase price. It's worth 2.4 million. Who wants in? I'm paying 12% interest. And this guy came from the back of the room. Was like, yeah, I'll give you $100,000. Like, perfect. He said, Tom, I used to lend to Tom. Tom knows you. I'm down to work with you. I never talked to the guy before. There's $100,000. 2 other guys came over. Same thing. Never talked to them before. They've seen me before, but I'd never seen them before. So remember what I always say, it's about who knows you, not who you know. So they'd seen me speak before. They'd seen me on Facebook before. They came up and they're like, hey, I'm going to invest 50,000 with you. Invest 50,000 with you. Hence, Karen, if you could do this. Yeah. That's fool's mate. That's if you're being seen enough, if you're putting enough content out there, if you're speaking in front of enough people, that can happen. Everything else that has ever happened for me has come from follow-up. Every other dime that I've ever raised capital on, every other deal I've ever sold a property to, every other transaction I've ever done in business, where it was business acquisitions, it was a follow-up, right? When I acquired or, partnered up with Jen Sullivan for Jen's Pen, when that business got created, it was follow-up, years of following up with Jen, like hoping for her success, rooting for her success, pushing for her success, before finally identifying the right opportunity and then saying, well, I'd partner with you. And I said 80-20. I said, Jen, you can have 80% of the business. I just want 20. And she said, no, I want 50-50. I want you to be 100% committed to me. I want your attention. I want your focus in this business. And I was like, well, shit, that's a good negotiation. Let's give Jen Sullivan a round of applause. Very smart move. I'm dedicated. Follow up. Jen Sullivan, we're talking about, she is the queen of follow-up. Man, she reaches out to players, like next level players, not just real estate investors who've become mentors. She's reaching out to multi-millionaires who are not just multi-millionaires, but influencers, right? On all the platforms. That's her clients. And she's reaching out to them, and they're busy. But then she follows up, and she shows interest, and she creates a new thing for them that they can get, into. And she follows up, and then before you know it, she's writing a book for them. It's insane. They're paying her $7,000 or $9,000 to write books. That's kind of, if you're catching, like, it doesn't matter what your business is, right? Who would think a ghostwriting business would be this lucrative or this profitable or this cool or fun to run? And like, who would think you can even reach those people, right? Hence, if that seems like impossible at first. It seems like no way. But now those are the clients. Like, those are the people referring other people. Because it's all about the follow-up. She's just a master of follow-up. And now we're putting her in Alchemist Connect, and we're building up automated follow-ups based on her scripts, her things. And that's going to create even more value, not just for her, but for Alchemist Nation as a whole. Because now we're getting more coaches who want to donate courses. In fact, one of the speakers will be at the 100 Millionaire Summit, Sam Prim. If you look him up, Sam Faster Freedom on TikTok or Instagram, he's one of our authors. He's somebody we're writing a book for. We would never have gotten him to the summit if we weren't writing that book. That makes sense? It's all about connections. Just the people who have your money, they want to talk to you. They do. They're waiting for you to show up. When I said, Sam, you want to speak at the summit? Actually, Jen said, she's like, you want to speak at the summit? He's like, hell yeah. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. And then when I said, Sam, do you want to be an affiliate? Do you want to make some money? Sell tickets? I was like, yeah, I'll kick the promotion off next week. Just because of asking for the sale. So when he puts people in his mentorship program, he puts 2,700 people at a time. Well, 2,700 people show up to his webinar because he's got 1 million followers, 2 million followers almost. These people are normal human beings. We recognize this, right? You're going to meet them at the summit. You're going to be able to hang out. You're going to be able to high five, take pictures with, do video with these players because of follow-up. Number 7. Look, I know it's annoying. It's tough. All right. 10 contacts a day, 4 people in the database, 1 post out there every day, 10 pages in a book. But the things you're doing are chiseling you, turning you into a Greek god, a Greek goddess, a statue that should be held up in front of people in society. Somebody, yes, there is somebody who's doing things that nobody else is willing or wants to or is afraid to do. They're terrified to reach out to other people. You're looking at that saying, yeah, I got your fear right here as I'm texting 10 more people. Let's go. Right. Yesterday, I was on a call with Mike Shine, right? Multi-millionaire, amazing friend of mine. Andrew McMurray was there with us. We were talking about marketing for Alchemist Title, which is another one of our companies. And Andrew was like, talking a little bit. And Mike's like, man, I'm going to go do push-ups right now because we're doing this 100 push-ups a day challenge, me and Mike. And Andrew's joined in with us now. And he said, I'm going to go do some push-ups right now on the Zoom call. We're all on Zoom. So he drops and starts doing 20. So I was like, dude, I'm going to do it too. And Andrew's like, well, I guess I'm going to, so we all drop, we start doing 20. I come back to the Zoom. Mike's like, I did 30. I looked Mike in the eyes and I said, me too. Because like attracts like. I knew he was going to do more than he told me he was going to do. He was going to push the body. But you did 33? Give Andrew a round of applause. Great job, brother. And I knew that if Andrew...
Only because I knew you guys were going to do 30.
See that? That's because... See, Andrew was still down doing push-ups by the time we got to our desk. So we're catching what this is. Bring people along who will sharpen you. Bring people along who will motivate you. Surround yourself with champions. You will be a champion. If I decide to take a day off, nobody around me is going to let me take a day off. And if they do allow me to take a day off, it's only because they know I'm going to push even harder tomorrow. They're holding me accountable to that next day. Everybody gets a rest day. But if you see me during the week needing a rest day, I fucked up. Because my Sunday is my rest day. I got a whole 24 hours to rest, to be blessed, to be grateful, to be thankful, to think about how I can serve the next 6 days and crush it. So if anything has disturbed my Sunday, that was my fault. I want each one of you to take that same ownership, right? Sunday is a day of peace, a day of relaxation, a day of rest, a day of reflection. And during the week, like a day like today, like Tuesday, this is a day to take money. This is a day to put in offers, to ask for the dollars, to give people an opportunity to spend with you, to receive. Ask if you're committed to receiving something today. Awesome. Excellent. Mission 23 is to get the money. This mission will not self-destruct, but your business might if you don't go take action. Cheers to your success. I'll see you in the next one.